Hey beauties, I am super excited. My name is Ariel Laurel and I am the founder of Treasure You. We're back with another video for Treasure You. Today's video is going to be about girls stop settling, okay? This video is going to be through transparency because through transparency, I do believe that we are transformed. I want to share with you some of the things that God laid on my heart to kind of talk to you about. I want to talk to women who may be going through a domestic violence situation, or you know someone going through a relationship that may not be good for them. I want to tell you that, first of all, it's okay that you found yourself in a situation that's not good for you. But I also want to let you know that it is important that you get out of a situation that is harmful to your character, harmful to your integrity. It's harmful to your self-esteem for sure. And it may cause death, okay? So it's not, I like conversation, a topic that I take lightly, but it is a conversation that I do think that is necessary because a lot of women, specifically African-American women, are suffering through domestic violence at the hands of their partners. I don't want to go through too much in my story, but I want to let you know that I too went through a lot of different situations that were harmful to my self-esteem. Okay. And a lot of times that's the reason why you do suffer through depression and anxiety and low self-esteem, because you are surrounded by people who do not value you. And they may be spitting words that the enemy wants to tell you because he knows that there is greatness on the inside of you. And so that's another thing that I want you to know, is that you are powerful and that you are a great woman of God. I want to let you know that it is okay to walk out of something, and that walking out of something does not mean that you do not love that person, but it is important for you to know that it is more important and more imperative that you love yourself beyond you loving that person. That person that makes you go through violence after violence and tears up your self-esteem does not love you. They do not honor you. They do not value you. A lot of times they say things to keep you around, but they will not do exactly, he will not do, or she will not do exactly what you are requesting of and what you need in a relationship. And so one of the things that when I went through a season of going through domestic violence, I found myself in a relationship with someone who I got in a relationship because we had the same pain. It's almost as if I wanting to get in a relationship because of the pain that we shared. And I was really looking for a savior. And this is why I believe it's important for you to know that you have the power on the inside of you as a woman to get out of a relationship that is unhealthy for you, okay? You do not need anyone to tell you that you are powerful, that you are courageous, that you are beautiful, because you can tell that to yourself. And this is the reason why I believe my platform is very important, because Treasure You focuses on transform, elevated, and evolve women. Even if you find yourself going through a process of being a transformed woman, it is important that you go through that process, because it is through that process that you find your identity. It is through that process of transforming your mind and how you think about yourself and how you see yourself in the mirror, where you see yourself as a valuable, high value woman with standards, a woman who is courageous, a woman that God has empowered on the inside, that you understand that it is important that you are surrounded by people who see that within you and who value you the same way that you value yourself, and that you are attached to a man that sees a little bit more than what you probably even see in yourself. which is why self-discovery is very important to go through. And so one of the things that I saw that was very helpful to me going through a season of self-discovery and finding myself, being removed out of that situation and, being honest, God allowed that situation to change because he knew I wasn't going to probably leave at that time. I'm different now, okay? Because, I don't put up with no abuse, okay? But during that time of, about 4 years ago, I would say, of dating that person, that person was able to move to, relocate, going to another state. And I was devastated. I was very devastated. But when I found myself staying in this situation of where I moved into the city that I moved to in order to get married to this person, and the person ended up moving. And I was devastated because I was putting my all, into the relationship, traveling from state to state, making sure that person was okay, making sure that person was financially okay, making sure that person was emotionally okay and physically okay. And I was pouring into that person. But then at some point I got so exhausted and I began to pray and ask God to give me the willpower to leave. And it took time. It took years. And I don't think that it would take everybody years. But even if it take you time to remove yourself out of a situation that is not good for you, it is important that you just go through the process of removing yourself. And one of the steps of going through that process is being transformed mentally and physically, transforming the person that you are, even with your self-esteem. If you don't feel like, you're that woman that you want to be, then what does that look like to you? What does that woman look like that you're going to be proud of, that you say, okay, I can get up and leave? And even if it's just raw and it's just you giving and picking your bags and your children and you leaving, it is imperative that you do that, because a lot of African American women are going through domestic violence at the hands of their partners. And because of they're going through domestic violence, they don't understand that their children are going through the same experience. But it's very mental and very traumatic on them. They're getting molested or raped and being touched in ways that they shouldn't be touched, or they're fearful. They have this spirit of fear over them. They're going through depression and anxiety. And so even if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your children or the legacy that you want to leave behind. There's a lot of women that are killed at the hands of their partners, and innocent bystanders or their children or people that are connected to them, their mother or their sister is also killed because that person did not get the strength enough to walk out and did not also tell someone that they were going through domestic violence. I would also say that is a very good point that I want to touch on as well, that it's important that you speak out. A lot of people that are narcissistic, or people that are the ones that are implementing the domestic violence, one of the things that would tell you is to not speak out, that to not talk to anybody. Don't tell anybody what you're going through in a relationship. And the reason why they don't want you to speak out, or they make you feel ashamed of speaking out, telling your girlfriends or telling your mom what you are suffering through, because they don't want another sounding voice. They don't want another ear they don't want another voice in your ear telling you that it is not okay, that those are red flags, that is a sign that you're going to have an unhappy marriage. That's a sign that you're in a mixed marriage, that you are a Christian woman dating someone that they may confess be Christian, but they may not love God the way that you love God. And they may be, just being honest, manipulated by the devil or by evil entities to be able to afflict pain upon you. And it is important that you, as a woman that is a believer or a woman that just loves herself, that you get out of a situation where someone is willingly willingly making you go through things that is harmful. They are constantly afflicting you, constantly telling you words that are not, words that are encouraging words. They're constantly making you pour out, and you're giving finances, or you're giving physically or emotionally to that person, and then you find yourself very empty-handed, which is in my situation, through transparency, letting you know that was one of the things that I found myself in, and that's what made me really want to get out of it, is that I found myself very empty, and I was just constantly pouring and constantly making sure that person was okay. And they were going through one thing after the other thing and after the other thing. And there was another thing, and there was and it was just truly an unhappy person. And because they were unhappy, they were inflicting more unhappiness upon me. They weren't the source of my happiness. And one of the things that I had to really realize and really get down is that I was only the source of my happiness. I was the only person that could actually find what was going to make me happy. And through finding what was going to make me happy and learning that I didn't have to settle. So girls, stop settling, is one of the things that I had to tell myself. And through understanding that I didn't have to settle, that I was more than a conqueror, that I was a beautiful woman of God, that I was a woman that God had called forth to impact the world, I had to understand that in order to have that impact and to make that change and to transform, I had to transform within. I had to be that change that I wanted to see. And a lot of times I see a lot of women on social media, or a lot of women on shows, and I said, man, she battled with low self-esteem, or she battled with a lot of depression and anxiety, and she don't really know that she's walking in the spirit of fear. And during that season, it really resonated with me that I too was going through domestic violence, and I was going through really violating myself, because I was putting myself willingly through this. I had the power to get out. I had I had everything that I needed. I had no kids. I had nothing really holding me there but my will to continue to go through something that made me unhappy. And searching through that happiness that I wanted in life, searching through what was making me happy and what I wanted to do with my life, which is self-discovery, and even understanding that if I did not get out of that situation, that I was going to abort a lot of dreams. And abortion does not always deal with kids, okay? Abortion sometimes have a lot to do with the dreams as well. And God does not call us as women of God to abort our dreams, but the enemy will send people in our life to abort the dream in our spirit that God wants to call forth, because he knows how powerful we are. So he does it through words. He does it through tearing your self-esteem down, tearing down you as a person. You constantly spending out where you don't have enough for yourself. And so I want to encourage someone that through telling my story, that the woman of God that I see today, I'm so proud of her. So proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud that I walked out. I'm so proud that no matter what I lost, and no matter what other people thought, that even if I made mistakes and, I tripped up, or, some things that like maybe I went back because that person kept telling lies, that eventually God gave me the strength, as much as, I seeked God and asked God, is this my person? And God kept sending red flags. When I had enough, I did had enough, and I was able to cut that person off. And listen, you cutting somebody off, or you saying that I have had enough, does not mean that you don't love that person. But it does say and speak volumes that you love yourself more than anybody else in the world. And that is important for you to grasp in your life. That it is important for you to love Tamia, to love Ariel, to love Sarah, to love whatever your name is, to love yourself more than you love that person that it is afflicting you with violence. Okay. One of the things that I did that I want to share this exercise with you is sharing with you a journal that I wrote to myself, a journal entry, if you will. It's a note to myself. It does say, girl, stop settling. But this is something that I wrote to myself that I wanted to empower someone that will listen to this video that may really need to hear this, that it gives you the strength that you need to go after what you want in your life, to go through that self-discovery, to find who you are. Because through that self-discovery journey, you will get the strength to walk out of anything that is not the will of God for your life and that is costing you more than what you have to spend. Okay. It is not God's will for you to be put down and for you to constantly be told words that are not encouraging, or for you to be constantly ridiculed by someone that is supposed to love you. Your husband is supposed to honor you. Your husband is supposed to admire you, and you admire him, and you're supposed to sharpen each other. You're not supposed to sharpen each other so much that you become dull and you become so exhausted and so spent out that you don't have anything for yourself. You don't have anything for your kids. You don't have anything for Ariel. Because you're constantly making sure that person is okay. At some point, you have to say that I have had enough, and you have to speak out and let people know that you are going through something, or you maybe possibly going through something that doesn't feel good, and that person will speak to you if they love you and let you know that that may be violence that you're going through and that that's not love. And so one of the journal entries that I did for myself is it's called, again, Girl, Stop Settling. And it goes like this. Greatness is inside of you. You were made to conquer. You were made to soar. You were made to win wars. Be accepting to your self-discovery journey. It may be new, but that's okay. Embrace change. You were made not to settle. You were made to take dominion over what is yours. You were made to rule and give authority to declare what is yours. Get up, put your crown back on, and take your place back. Love again, live again, smile again, embrace life again, open up your heart again, seek again, knock again, plan again, write again, believe again. But most importantly, heal again. Listen, if you are one of the ladies that are going through, one of my beautiful ladies that will watch this video that is going through a situation that may seem like it's domestic violence, I want you to speak out and talk to somebody. I want you to go to a therapist, but most importantly, talk to somebody that you know that has your best interests at heart, and be careful who you share your heart with. Your heart it flows the issues of life, and what are the things that matter to you in life comes out of your heart. When you share your heart with someone that does not love you and does not have good intentions for you, but they have ill intentions for you, they will damage your heart, because hurt people hurt people. Okay. And a lot of times when we, go through things that God doesn't want us to go through, and we find ourselves in situations that are not healthy, it is because our appetite has to change. It is because our desires has to change. And that's the reason why self-discovery is so important, because you find God changing your appetites and the desires that He wants you to have. And so then when you are going through things that are not healthy, it begins to be so toxic to you that it is almost as if your spirit can't deal with it anymore. And you start to realize that those red flags are now something that you are not willing to go through. And it's almost as if your spirit starts kind of like vomiting up things that are not for you. And you realize that, man, like, I am suffering and I am allowing this suffering to happen, but I am a valuable woman. And because you see that yourself as a valuable woman and you look in the mirror and you say, I am beautiful, I am courageous, you have to find yourself loving yourself again and looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you're beautiful and, going to the gym and working on your beautiful curves, whatever it is that makes you feel beautiful again. It is important that you go through that journey of what does beauty mean to you? And what does happiness mean to you? What do you need in your life right now? What do you need to hear? And what are other people telling you that is putting you down so much that it allows you to not walk in your true calling as a woman, as a high value woman? Because it's not that you are not a high value woman. It's not that you don't already come with the value. It is not that you're not named already, because you already have your name. Okay? You already have your name, but you have to understand the value of your name, the value of your body, the value of your spirit, the value of your brand, the value of the person that God has created you to be the value of your body. And when you find the value of who you are and you begin to realize that self-worth is the most important thing that I can find on earth, because out of that will flow healing, will flow deliverance, will flow love, will flow forgiveness, will flow honor and peace, and beautiful desires. And you will be able to attract the man that compliments you. But first you have to be able to release what is not good for you. And it is okay again to realize that I love myself more than I love other people, especially when they are not good for me. When you realize that it is okay to walk away from something that does not honor you, that does not support you, that does not value you, and that person is constantly beating on you or saying words that are not good for you, or they're narcissistic. Everything is about them and nothing is really about you. When you find yourself not being able to celebrate yourself, but you're always celebrating them, but you don't really celebrate yourself, and you're always doing things for yourself, then it is time to let that person go. Queen, it is okay to stop settling. Girl, stop settling. It is okay to realize the value that you bring, the value that you bring to this world, and to realize that if someone does not see the value that you bring to their life, to their world, then you have to understand that it is more important for you to see the value that you bring to your own world, and to be okay with walking in your deliverance, to walk in that singleness, to walk in your singleness journey, to walk in your self-discovery journey until you find that person that compliments you, and that they compliment you so well that they take your life to another level. Your life is not supposed to decrease. Your life is not supposed to backtrack. You're supposed to evolve. You're supposed to elevate. You're supposed to transform. And so if you do that by yourself, with yourself, and with the help of God, then anything that you get into after that healing, you will realize that, okay, I'm not willing to backtrack in my healing. I'm not willing to spend that cost. I'm not willing to give that up. I'm not willing to give my peace and my happiness and my joy up to be with somebody who is not experiencing peace, who does not have the peace of God in their life, who does not have peace in their mind. And if they don't have that, then it is okay for you to continue to move on in your journey. And that journey is through your self-discovery, okay? Be okay with going through the transitioning, and that you understand that you will become wiser, you will become stronger, you will become so resilient and so much more powerful than you ever have before. But listen, you will not die, most importantly. You will not die. It is for you to get out of something that is not helping you evolve. We are women, treasure you, women that are beautiful women who are transforming, elevating, and evolving. Okay, so we are always moving up. We're not moving and backtracking back, because that's not the will of God for our life. We're going to be moving up, and we're going to be moving towards beauty and abundance. Okay guys, so I hope this has blessed you. I am looking forward to the next video that I'm going to do, and going to be very prayerful about what else God wants me to share with you. It may be a second edition to this, where I dive a little bit deeper into some things that God shares with me. He always revealed things to me throughout the week, that he wants me to share with you guys. So until next time, I will see you guys, and be blessed. Peace.